Hi, Praneeth. My name is Ellen. I will be correcting this essay for you today. So let's take a look at what you've written here. Task 2 about ex-prisoners and whether they're the best people to talk to youngsters about crime. Let's see what you wrote. Okay. I believe, excuse me. I believe that some prisoners who later became good citizens are the best individuals to talk to teenagers about dangers of committing a crime. People who have been in prison have experienced punishments for the crimes they have committed. A prisoner who become a better citizen knows what they lost during the time they did in jail. For younger people, they could be living examples of what can go wrong and how long you have to wait to get into the right track. Recent studies shows that new generation are more active leaners than what it used to be. Furthermore, people do like to listen to actual stories than getting taught by teachers. The message to teenagers would be more effective when it is delivered from the same person who was troubled once. Moreover, ability to answer any questions teenagers have using real life examples would help the children to understand the dangers of committing a crime. All right, so I wanted to read this part first before I began any feedback. The first thing that I've noticed here is that your writing is missing some of the structure that is required in a high scoring essay. So, in other words, your paragraphing is really off. So, look, you've got a paragraph of one sentence, you've got a paragraph here of two sentences, and then you've got this big chunk of text. And so, all of this is really strange. It's like we don't understand why you're paragraphing. Your paragraphing in task 2 needs to be very deliberate. It has to have a very specific structure and be organized in a specific way to show organization, progression of ideas, and we'll help you with that. Especially if you sign up to the course, we'll tell you everything you need to know about how to best organize your paragraphs. But this for me felt, if you're familiar with the phrase stream of consciousness, like you were just kind of writing whatever came into your head and it didn't really follow a particular progression. With native speakers, this kind of writing might work. But for most of us, or for most candidates who are sitting the IELTS, this is not going to work particularly successfully. So what you want to do is you want to have a well-structured introduction. The introduction really shouldn't be more than like 3 sentences. You basically start out by rephrasing the topic, introducing what it is, and then rephrasing it. Explain what the dilemma is, what the, controversy at hand is, and then you express your position. Okay? So I'm going to do something really just kind of off the cuff, verbally, just to give you an idea of what it is I'm talking about. I'm not sure this is going to come out well, but again, it's different when you speak and it's different when you write. So forgive me, but I'm just trying to give you a general idea. So you could say something like, around the world, new methods are being explored to help prevent youngsters' involvement in crime. It is believed that by some that the best people to help achieve this goal are former prisoners who now live exemplary lives. In my opinion, they are a wonderful tool to use. However, they are not necessarily the best people for this role. Okay, so you can see what I did. It's essentially 3 sentences where I introduced the topic. I told you really what the debate was, where the controversy was, and then I told you my opinion. Okay, so let's now talk about what you did here. Here you gave us your opinion straight away. There was no kind of build up, there was no lead into it, and so that was a little problematic. And then here, I don't really understand the purpose of this. Like, it doesn't make sense really in the structure of an essay why you would have these 2 particular sentences just on their own. I didn't understand that. Okay, so then here, let's see. What did you do here? Here you did some good work. but it still needed a little more help. So let me show you what I mean, okay? We'll go through it again sentence by sentence. So you're telling us that, I like this expression, by the way, very much, living examples. Okay, that was good. And then it should be to get on the right track. All right. Maybe this could have been better linked. Okay, you said they're living examples. And you know what? Maybe what you could have done, let's see. I don't know. There's something about this that's strange. I kind of feel like this is the idea that because young people today are active learners, using ex-criminals is very effective. For example, they could be a living example of what can go wrong and how you have to do this. So I might have just organized this a little differently. Okay. Let's see. And then here, people like to listen to actual stories than get taught by teachers. Okay. Now here I want you to explain to me why. All right. I think this really needs a why here. It needs support, which is directly related to what you just said. So why do we prefer stories from ex-criminals than teachers? Let's see. The message is more effective, or would be more effective, when it's delivered by the same person who was troubled once. Yeah, but you don't tell me why. You're essentially telling me the same thing, that it's more effective, but you don't tell me why it's more effective. And that for me is really important. Uh, let's see. Moreover, the ability to answer any questions teenagers have using real life examples would help the children understand the danger of committing a crime. Again, here I'm kind of left hanging. Like, I feel like there's more information you need to give me that you haven't. So you've got some really nice examples. You've got some really great ideas, but I don't really feel like the structure is there and the support is there. You need to kind of back up some of these statements with more information to really kind of prove to us that what you're saying is true. All right, let's see this now. However, not all the prisoners who became good share the same sentiment of sharing the life experience, nor they have understanding about the mindset of new generation. Here you've got some grammar issues. Let's clean that up. Okay. However, not all prisoners who became good people share the same sentiment of wanting to share their life experience, nor do they have understanding about the mindset of the new generation. Therefore, a proper filtering mechanism should be in place to identify the best candidates to a program like this. Okay. The type of crime should be considered, as teenagers might get offensive. That's not right. Offended, maybe, by certain types of crime. All right, now here, I'm concerned about this paragraph because it is totally out of nowhere. You had this sentence here where you told us your position. You said they are the best people. And then all of a sudden you have this paragraph. You've got like 3 sentences talking about why, hey, maybe we should be careful with this. So this doesn't really belong here. And it doesn't really fit in with what you're saying. Now, I would have been okay with you saying why prisoners might not be the best, but only if you had mentioned it up here. Okay? So maybe you said some here. I believe that some prisoners who became good citizens are the best individuals to talk to young teenagers about the dangers of committing a crime. However, we must be careful about which ex-prisoners we use. So if you had said that, then I would have been like, okay, we're going to see 2 sides of this. We're going to see why this is a good thing. We're also going to see why this is not a good thing. Okay. So then I would have put this where you talk about why it's not a good thing. I would have put that first. All right. Because it's not really what you support. It's the thing you support like less. So start with that and then go to the other one. All right. Let's continue. To conclude, I do agree with the utilization of prisoners who later became good citizens to talk to teenagers about the consequences of committing a crime, but there should be a proper mechanism to choose the speakers. Okay. So like I said, I saw a lot of really good things here. I thought you had a lot of nice ideas to support this. It's not a very long essay. It's 256 words. So I think you could have said more. I think you should have said more. I think that if you had structured this better, it would have been a longer essay. Okay. But I definitely would have changed it a lot in terms of the organization of your ideas and the organization of your paragraphs. That for me really needed a lot of work. So coherence and cohesion and also task achievement were the issues for me. I do also feel like you had some repetitive vocabulary, although I'm not going to like go through it now to show you where. I did feel like you could have used maybe some synonyms for some of these things, like ex-convict, ex-prisoner, former criminal, like things like this. I think I would have liked to see maybe a little more variety in that language. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think you're off to the right track, but I absolutely believe that you need some support to get to where you need to be. Okay? Take a look at the links coming with your essay correction, and you'll see the different ways that you can work with us. I'd like to see you on the course. I think you're going to find it really, really helpful. Okay? So if you have any questions, let me know, and I want to wish you tons and tons of luck.